I'm just being honest. Objectively, it sucks, but also objectively, Lara Jean looks awesome in it. Crawling under my quilt, I say, I thought you could barely even tell it was me. I knew I shouldn't have gone on that ski trip. I hate hot tubs. Why would I willingly get into a hot tub? Hey, be glad you were in your pajamas, Chris says. You could have been nude. My head pops out from under the quilt and I glare at her. I would never be nude. Chris snorts. Never nude. Did you know that's a real thing? Some people call themselves never nudes and they wear clothes at all times, even in the shower. Like jean shorts. I turn on my side, away from Chris. The weight of my bed shifts as Margot climbs in. It's going to be fine, she says, peeling back the blanket. We'll get them to take the video down. It won't matter, I say. Everyone's already seen it. They all think I'm a slut. Chris's eyes go narrow. So are you saying that if a girl has sex in a hot tub, that makes her a slut? No. That's not what I'm saying, that's what other people are saying. Then what are you saying? She demands. I look at Kitty, who's braiding Chris's hair in microbraids. She's being extra quiet so we forget she's here and don't kick her out. I think that as long as you're ready and it's what you want to do and you're protecting yourself, then it's okay and you should do what you want to do. Margot says, society is far too caught up in shaming a woman for enjoying sex and applauding a man. I mean, all of the comments are about how Lara Jean is a slut, but nobody's saying anything about Peter, and he's right there with her. It's a ridiculous double standard. I hadn't thought of that. Chris looks down at her phone. Like, 3 different people just texted the video to me as we were sitting here. I let out a sob and Margot says, Chris, that's not helping. At all. To me she says, if people say anything, just be really blasé, like it's beneath you. Or just. Like, lean into it, Chris says. From behind her Kitty says, nobody will say anything to Lara Jean because she's Peter's girl. That means she's under his protection, like on The Sopranos. Aghast, Margot says, oh my god, you've seen The Sopranos? How have you seen The Sopranos? It's not even on TV anymore. I watched it on demand. I'm on season 3. Kitty. Stop watching it. She shuts her eyes and shakes her head. Never mind. That's not what's important right now. We'll talk about it later. Kitty, Lara Jean doesn't need a boy to protect her. No, Kitty has a good point, Chris says. It's not about the fact that Peter's a guy. Well, not completely. It's about the fact that he's popular and she isn't. That's where the protection comes into play. No offense, LJ. None taken, I say. It's slightly insulting, but it's also true, and now isn't the time for me to get my feelings hurt about something so minuscule in comparison to a would-be sex tape. What did Kavinsky say about it? Chris asks me, nothing yet. He's still at lacrosse practice. My phone immediately starts to buzz, and the 3 of us look at each other, wide-eyed. Margot picks it up and looks at it. It's Peter. She hot potatoes the phone to me. Let's give them some privacy, she says, nudging Chris. Chris shrugs her off. I ignore both of them and answer the phone. Hello. My voice comes out thin as a reed. Peter starts talking fast. Okay, I've seen the video, and the first thing I'm going to say to you is don't freak out. He's breathing hard, it sounds like he's running. Don't freak out? How can I not? This is terrible. Do you know what they're all saying about me in the comments? That I'm a slut. They think we're having sex in that video, Peter. Never read the comments, Covey. That's the first rule of, if you say Fight Club to me right now, I will hang up on you. Sorry. Okay, I know it sucks, but it doesn't suck. It's a literal nightmare. My most private moment. For everybody to see. I'm completely humiliated. The things people are saying, my voice breaks. Kitty and Margot and Chris are all looking at me with sad eyes, which makes me feel even sadder. Don't cry, Lara Jean. Please don't cry. I promise you I'm going to fix this. I'm going to get whoever runs Anony bitch to take it down. How? We don't even know who they are. And besides, I bet our whole school's seen it by now. Teachers, too. I know for a fact that teachers look at Anony bitch. I was in the faculty lounge once and I overheard Mr. Felipe and Ms. Ryan saying how bad it makes our school look. And what about college admissions boards and our future employers? Peter guffaws. Future employers? Covey, I've seen much worse. Hell, I've seen worse pictures of me on there. Remember that picture of me with my head in a toilet bowl, and I'm naked? I shudder. I never saw that picture. Besides, that's you, that's not me. I don't do that kind of stuff. Just trust me, okay? I promise I'll take care of it. I nod, even though I know he can't see me. Peter is powerful. If anyone could fix such a thing, it would be him. Listen, I've gotta go. Coach is gonna kick my ass if he sees me on the phone. I'll call you tonight, okay? Don't go to sleep. I don't want to hang up. I wish we could talk longer. Okay, I whisper. When I hang up, Margot, Chris, and Kitty are all three staring at me. Well? Chris says, he says he'll take care of it. Smugly Kitty says, I told you so. What does that even mean, he'll take care of it? Margot asks. He hasn't exactly proven himself to be responsible. It's not his fault, Kitty and I say at the same time. Oh, I know exactly who's responsible for this, Chris proclaims. My she-devil cousin. This knocks the wind out of me. What? Why? She gives me an incredulous look. Because you took her man. Genevieve's the one who cheated on Peter. That's why they broke up. It wasn't because of me. Like that matters. Chris shakes her head. Come on, Lara Jean. Remember what she did to Jamila Singh? Telling everyone that her family had an Indonesian slave just because she had the balls to date Peter after they broke up? I'm just saying, I wouldn't put a bitch move like this past her. On the ski trip, Genevieve said she knew about the kiss, which has to mean that Peter told her about it at some point in their relationship, though I doubt he told her that he was the one who kissed me and not the other way around. Even so, I find it hard to believe that she could do something so cruel to me. Jamila Singh and Genevieve never liked each other. But Jen and I were best friends once. Sure, we haven't talked much the last few years, but Jen was always loyal to her friends. It had to have been one of the guys hanging out in the rec room, or maybe. I don't know. Maybe anyone. I've never trusted her, Margot says. Then she says to Chris, no offense. I know she's your cousin. Chris snorts. Why would I be offended? I can't stand her. I'm pretty sure she's the one who scraped up the side of Grandma's car with her bike, Margot says. Remember, Lara Jean? It was actually Chris, but I don't say so. Chris starts biting her nails and giving me panicky eyes and I say, I don't think Genevieve was the one who posted the video. It could have been anybody who happened to see us that night. Margot puts her arm around me. Don't worry, Lara Jean. We'll get them to take the video down. You're underage. Pull it up again, I say. Kitty cues it up and pushes play. I feel the same sinking feeling in my stomach every time I watch it. I close my eyes so I don't have to. Thank God. The only things you can hear are the sounds of the woods and the hot tub water bubbling. Is it as bad as I'm remembering? I mean, does it really look like we're having sex? Be honest. I open my eyes, Margot's peering at it, head tilted. No, it really doesn't. It just looks like a hot makeout, Chris supplies. Right, Margot agrees. Just a hot makeout. You guys swear? In unison they say, we swear. Kitty? I ask. She bites her lip. It looks like sex to me, but I'm the only one here besides you who's never had sex, so what do I know? Margot lets out a gasp. Sorry, I read your diary. Margot swats at her, and Kitty crawls away fast like a crab. I take a deep breath. Okay. I can live with that. I mean, who cares about a hot makeout, right? That's just part of life, right? And you can barely even see my face? You'd have to really know me to know it was me. My full name isn't on here anywhere, just Lara Jean. There must be a ton of Lara Jeans, right? Right? Margot gives me an impressed nod. I've never seen anybody move through the 5 stages of grief that fast. You really do have an incredible bounce back. Thank you, I say, feeling a little proud. But then in the dark, when my sisters and Chris have left and Peter and I have said our goodnights and he has assured me for the millionth time that everything will be fine. I look at Instagram again, at all the comments. And I am mortified. I asked Peter who he thought could have done it. He said he didn't know. Probably just some horny pathetic guy, he said. I don't ask the thing I'm still thinking about, the thing that's still stuck in my craw. Was it Genevieve? Could she really hate me so much that she'd want to hurt me that badly? I remember the day we exchanged friendship bracelets. This proves that we're best friends, she said to me. We're closer with each other than with anyone else. What about Allie? I asked. We'd always been a trio, though Genevieve liked me best. We were close, closer than with anyone else. The bracelets were proof. How cheaply I was bought then, with just a bracelet made out of string. The next morning I dress for school with special care. Chris said I should lean into it, which would mean a look at me kind of outfit. Margot said I should be above it all, which means something mature like a pencil skirt or maybe my green corduroy blazer. But my instinct is to blend, blend, blend. Big sweater that's more like a blanket. Leggings, Margot's brown boots. If I could wear a baseball cap to school, I would, but no hats allowed. I make myself a bowl of Cheerios with sliced banana on top, but I can only force down a few bites. I'm too nervous. Margot notices and slips a cashew bar in my bag for later. I'm lucky that she's still here to take such good care of me. She'll be heading back to Scotland tomorrow. Daddy feels my forehead. Are you sick? You barely had any dinner last night either. I shake my head. Probably just cramps. My period's coming soon. I have only to say the magic word, period, and I know he won't push it further. Ah, he says with a sage nod. After you get some food in your stomach, take 2 ibuprofen so you have it in your system. Got it, I say. I feel bad for the lie, but it's a tiny one, and it's for his own good. He can never know about that video, not ever. Peter pulls up in front of our house right on time for once. He's really sticking to our contract. Margot walks me to the door and says, just hold your head up high, all right? You haven't done anything wrong. As soon as I get in the car, Peter leans over and kisses me on the mouth, which still feels surprising somehow. I'm taken off guard, so I accidentally cough into his mouth a little. Sorry, I say, no worries, he says, smooth as ever. He places his arm on the back of my seat as he puts the car in reverse, then he tosses me his phone. Check Anony bitch. I open up his Instagram and go to Anony bitch's page. I see the entry that was below ours, a picture of a passed out guy with penises permanent markered all over his face. It's the top of the feed now. I gasp. The hot tub video is gone. Peter, how did you do this? Peter grins a peacocky kind of grin. I messaged Anony bitch last night and told them to take that shit down or we're suing. I told them how my uncle is a lawyer and you and I are both underage. He gives my knee a squeeze. Is your uncle really a lawyer? No. He owns a pizza parlor in New Jersey. We both laugh, and it feels like such a relief. Listen, don't worry about anything today. If anybody says anything, I'll kick their ass. I just wish I knew who did it. I could have sworn we were alone that night. Peter shakes his head. It's not like we did anything so wrong. I mean, who cares if we made out in a damn hot tub? Who cares if we had sex in it? I frown and he quickly says, I know. You don't want people thinking we did something when we didn't. We definitely didn't, and that's what I told that bitch Anony bitch. It's different for guys and girls, Peter. I know. Don't be mad. I'm going to find out who did this. He looks straight ahead, so serious and unlike himself. His profile is almost noble for all its good intent. Oh, Peter, why do you have to be so handsome? If you weren't so handsome, I never would have gotten in that hot tub with you. It's all your fault. Except it isn't. I'm the one who took off my shoes and socks and got in. I wanted it too. I just appreciate that he's taking it as seriously as he is, writing emails on our behalf. I know this is the kind of thing that Genevieve wouldn't care about. She never had a problem with PDAs or being the center of attention. But I care a lot. He turns his head and looks at me, studying my eyes, my face. You don't regret it, do you, Lara Jean? I shake my head. No, I don't. He smiles at me so sweetly I can't help but smile back. Thanks for getting them to take the video down for me. Us, Peter corrects. I did it for us. He links our fingers together. It's you and me, kid. I tighten my fingers around his. If we just hold on tight enough, it will all be okay. When we walk down the hall together, girls whisper. Boys snicker. One guy from the lacrosse team runs up and tries to high-five Peter, who swats him away with a growl. Lucas comes up to me when I'm alone at my locker trading out my books. I'm not going to mince words, he says. I'm just going to ask. Is the girl in the video really you? I take deep, calming breath. It's me. Lucas lets out a low whistle. Damn. Yeah. So did you guys? No, we definitely did not. We are not. Why not? I'm embarrassed by the question, though I know there's no reason for me to be. It's just that I've never been in a position to talk about my sex life before, because who would ever have thought to ask me anything? We aren't because we aren't. There's no big reason behind it, other than I'm not ready yet and I don't know if he is either. We haven't even talked about it. Well, it's not like he's a virgin. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Lucas makes his cerulean blue angel eyes go wide for emphasis. I know you're innocent, Lara Jean, but Kavinsky definitely isn't. I'm saying this to you as a guy. I don't see what that has to do with me, I say, even though I've wondered and worried about this myself. Peter and I had a conversation about this once, about whether a guy and a girl who dated for a long time were automatically having sex, but I don't remember if he ever said what his take on it was. I should have listened harder. Look, just because he and Genevieve did it like wild rabbits or whatever, Lucas snickers at this and I pinch him. Just because they did it doesn't mean we automatically are, or that he automatically even wants to. Does it? He definitely wants to. Gulp. Well, too bad, so sad, if that's the case. But honestly, I don't think it is. In this very moment, I decide that Peter and I will be the relationship equivalent of a brisket. Slow and low. We will heat up for each other over time. Confidently I say, what Peter and I have is completely different than what he and Genevieve were. Or had. Whatever. The point is, you shouldn't compare relationships, okay? Never mind the fact that I've been doing that constantly in my head. In French class, I hear Emily Nussbaum whisper to Genevieve, if it turns out she's preggo, do you think Kavinsky will pay for the abortion? Genevieve whispers back, no way. He's too cheap. Maybe half. And everyone laughs. My face burns in mortification. I want to scream at them, we didn't have sex. We are brisket. But that would only give them more satisfaction, to know they're getting a rise out of me. That's what Margot would say anyway. So I hold my chin up even higher, as high as I can, so high my neck hurts. Maybe Jen did do it. Maybe she really does hate me that much. Ms. Davenport grabs me on my way to my next class. She puts her arm around me and says, "Lara Jean, how are you holding up?" I know she doesn't care about me, not really. She just wants gossip. She's the biggest gossip of all the teachers, maybe even the students. Well, I'm not going to be faculty lounge fodder. I'm great, I say sunnily. Chin up, I saw the video, she whispers, eyes darting around to see if anyone's listening. Of you and Peter in the hot tub. My jaw is clenched so tight my teeth hurt. You must be really upset about the comments, and I don't blame you. Ms. Davenport really needs to get a life if all she's doing over her winter break is looking at high school kids' Instagrams. Kids can be very cruel. Trust me, I know this from personal experience. I'm not that much older than you guys. I'm really fine, but thanks for checking in. Nothing to see here. Folks. Keep it moving, Ms. Davenport's lower lip pushes out. Well, if you need to talk to someone, you know I'm here for you. Let me be a resource. Come hang out with me anytime, I'll write you a note. Thank you, Ms. Davenport. I slither out of from under her arm. Mrs. Duval, the guidance/college counselor, stops me on my way to English. Lara Jean, she begins, then falters. You're such a bright, talented girl. You're not the type of girl to get caught up in these sorts of things. I'd hate to see you go down a wrong path. I can feel tears coming up the back of my throat, pushing their way to the surface. I respect Mrs. Duval. I want her to think well of me. All I can do is nod. She tips my chin up tenderly. Her perfume smells like dried rose petals. She's an older woman, she's worked at the school forever. Mrs. Duval really cares about the students. She is the one kids come back and say hi to when they're home from college for winter break. Now is the time to buckle down and get serious about your future, not high school drama. Don't give colleges a reason to turn you down, okay? Again I nod. Good girl, she says. I know you're better than that. The words echo in my ears, better than that. Better than what? Then who? During lunch, I escape to the girls' bathroom so I don't have to speak to anybody. And of course there Genevieve is, standing in front of the mirror. Dabbing on lip balm. Her eyes meet mine in the mirror. Hi there. It's the way she says it, hi there. So smug, so sure of herself. Was it you? My voice echoes against the walls. Genevieve's hand goes still. Then she recovers and screws the top back on her lip balm. Was what me? Did you send that video to Anony bitch? No, she scoffs. Her mouth turns up to the right, the smallest of quivers. That's when I know she's lying. I've seen her lie to her mom enough times to know her tell. Even though I suspected it, maybe even knew it deep down, this confirmation takes my breath away.